Well, good evening. Hello, all around the world. Let's stop sharing my screen for a second. And welcome to the Sunday evening free training. How you doing, Robert?
Fantastic. How's everybody else doing?
We'll get hello to everyone's in the chat, and then now tonight, what we're going to do as well for changes after we've done the training, we're going to open up the floor. So if there's something that you would like to know about WordPress or Cadence or something we're not covering within this training, after we've done this bit of training, we're going to let you come back to us and let us know what you might like to have added. Because we're getting to the point now where we've gone through all the basics of WordPress and using Cadence and the theme. And I'm going to show you how I get content for my sites tonight and adding them to a page. And so there may be an area which that we might be missing. So if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, the link's inside of the description to come into the Zoom room. That's where we'll be monitoring all the chats. So you're welcome to come in and join us, and we're happy to take on board what you might want from the training. So
let's start out with a general question here. What's the takeaway so far? What do you guys enjoy the most of what we're doing, or what is the direction you want to go with? Because we haven't had a lot of questions as far as what we've done. We've heard a few comments that they like what we show and they've learned some different things, but it helps us help you when we know what is the direction, when what's working for you, or what is not of value. So I guess the basics of Cadence and what we're going to be doing with the build is of value. So how would you like us to proceed going forward? Yeah. If anybody wants to put anything in the chat.
So I'm going to line up a few bits and pieces as well. And while we're waiting for anyone to come up with anything else they might want to learn, and also if you watch the replays on Facebook, we will be monitoring those afterwards. But obviously on the live now, we won't because we'll be focusing on this. So what we're going to do then is I'm going to share my screen and get onto the right desktop. Hopefully you guys can see my WordPress screen.
Yep.
Brilliant. So the way I find content, this is me building out tonight on our hosting platform website. And so if I wanted to go and get content for this, I put my page into edit mode. And this is the theme we downloaded, the free theme we downloaded before from Cadence. And that's in a previous lot of training. This, I've been on here earlier, it says an auto-save version. I'm not going to worry about that, so we'll get rid of that. And we're now ready to roll with editing this all the way through. So the first thing I am going to do, I'm going to change this title here. So I'm going to highlight it, and we're going to do DFY Magic Hosting. And I like to see what sort of H tag it is. So as I hover over this opens up here, and we can have a look at the settings where this is obviously a heading there, and H1 tag is here, or H2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, this is going to be the first thing I want people to see. If I want to change the letter sizing, we can do it over here. We can either do a custom size by clicking here, or I can click it back and I can say, well, let's try 32, let's try 40. If I want to go larger, maybe a little bit too large.
So I'm going to come in with the dumb question, Steve.
Yeah.
Just for those, in case they don't know. What's the difference between H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6?
H1s are the header one. It's the way Google and Bing will tell what is what when it's tagged on your site. So you only ever really want one H1 tag on each of your pages of your site. I have tested before a site with more than one H1 tags, And it does seem to work, but it confuses Google when they come to your site. If you don't have schema on your site, then you're in a situation where Google's going to check your site and look over each page one by one. The Google bots will. So the first one is to tell the site who are you or what you are. For example, if I was a plumber in Bristol, I'd want my H1 tag to be local plumber in Bristol. So in this case, we are DFY Magic Themes hosting. So that's telling them that we are hosting business. And then on here, the next part down, I'd want to label this part here to tell a little bit about what we are and what we do. So I'd put, for example, DFY hosting. On type tonight. Now when I get stuck for content, what I like to do as well is come over to Google and I'll search for the business that I'm going to work with. So this is a hosting site. Let's give another example for plumbing. All right, let's go plumbers in Bristol. And I'll come down. I want to look at the top site on here. I don't want to be using Checker Trade or Trusted Trader. This one would be good here. And so in this case, this would be a H1. This should be a H1 tag. And then this will be a H2 tag on another header, providing local and reliable plumbers in Bristol, UK, and then a bit of content underneath. So if I now come over to another page and we do a search for just hosting, it's auto corrected me, so I'm going to get rid of that bit. And we're going to have a look down at, well, let's start off by coming down to this site here and see what they've got. UK hosting on the fastest network. So I could grab this content here, come back to my own site. I'm going to actually insert, so I'm going to click here and insert after another heading. So we're going to click plus, and I think we got a couple of people waiting. Admit.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, I just picked up on. Welcome to Don and Sarah, who's just joined us. I'll try and keep an eye on the meeting room as we go along as well.
I got it open now. I forgot about it.
Cool. That's right. So just to recap for Sarah and Don, who's just joined us, we've already got the theme installed, and I've gone to do a search on Google for initially I was showing a plumber in Bristol, and this is their H1 tag. This would be H2 tag, and this would be just content. But we are building out a theme which is going to be to do with our DFY hosting. So I'm going to switch over to here now, and I want to take this content here. This is the H1 tag, but I'm going to take this, and I'm going to come back, and I've just clicked on here and done the 3 lines and insert after. And so this is now going to become another heading for me. But this time I want it to be a H2. It's already on H2. And I'm going to post this in here. Now, I don't want to copy exactly what they're saying, because otherwise they may moan at me for copying the text. So I'm going to take off UK, because we are going to be UK and USA. We're going to put and we'll swap this around a little bit. We'll cut that out there. The fastest network hosting on the web. And then we want a bit of content. Now, you can use spinners and things like that as well. Spin rewriter to rewrite your content, or AI. I prefer to go and have a look around, see what we've got here that we can use. And let's scroll down, see if we've got any content here. So choose us for your website hosting, and you can gain access to our customer support team. Take that part there, copy this, come back again. DFY hosting, paste this in here and we'll rewrite it. So I can take that out there a minute. And we want to get rid of that. So choose us for your website hosting and you'll gain access to our customer support team. Then we'll come back and get a bit more content elsewhere. With everyone's hosting plans, you're backed up by a dedicated team of professionals ready to assist you. And we'll come back again. And it's a case of building these blocks up bit by bit. So we'll paste it in there. And we'll say with every one of our hosting plans, you're backed up by our dedicated team of support professionals ready to assist you. And we can also add in then spin text if you're using Magic Page plugin or a plugin that can do the spin text for you on your website. And we can read through this and we can say with instead of everyone, we can put curvy bracket in and we can do all hype. So now the first time it'll say with all of our hosting plans or with every one of our hosting plans. And we could change this bit here. So we could put curvy bracket, hype, and you're covered by our dedicated team of support professionals. It's up to you on your site whether you want to do a trial or not. And eventually I would link this button here to go through to the hosting service that we provide where you can order your hosting. So we're slowly building this all up. And it's good to add in spin text wherever you can. So we could also include on this H2 tag, we could do the best. That there. So the first time it'd say the best hosting on the web, and the second time it'd say the fastest network hosting on the web. So I've in this little time, I probably wouldn't offer a trial myself. I'd probably want to change this to something else, or if I'm not happy, I'll just remove it. Now, in this case, these ticks here, I noticed on this site at the top, we've got these options here. So I can grab that, come back across, make sure I click in the right place. If for any reason I can't click in the right place, then we can come down, we can click on the 3 lines and we can find the advanced button. Actually, it was up here, row layout section is what we want. And we should be able to now click in here, clear this out, paste it in there. And we'll come back and we'll grab this as well. We'll do update as we go along. It should auto save anyway, but I'm just playing it safe. So I've already created now this entire top half. I'm probably going to spend a bit more time at a later time doing my own graphics. This is one whole image here. And you can use a product like Usign to create your own various images. But now we've already got our home page set up. The only other thing I'd like to check is
so just to interrupt you for 1 second, Stephen. Just to recap, we're building from scratch using a Cadence website template that we pulled in week 1. And we're just going to recreate the content for a web hosting website, so you can kind of see how the buttons work and how the editing works inside of Cadence. The actual best way probably to do this is to get your content together by going out, researching like what Stephen was doing, looking at the top 10 or 20 websites that are in your niche and look at what they're writing, looking what they're writing about, and take all that content, do a data dump onto a notepad or a Excel spreadsheet or something, however you work, and then look at all the phrases, look at all the H1 tags, all the headings that they put in for H1s, all the headings they put in for H2s, and get a real documented amount of content together that you can pick different things for different places to create for your website when you go to build it. But we're building from scratch in this case, so we're not having the articles already together. The content isn't here, but this is how you would go out and research the content, look at what you're going to put onto the website, and go from there. And probably I would add to that you would already have done some keyword research on what you're going to put into your keywords on your niche website.
So just coming back, I want to add some other content. See what else we can find on here. It's going to be, I quite like the look of these boxes as well, so I'd probably try and do something similar. One-click install with WordPress, so we can grab some of this content as well. This can come down here. And we can come back to this site. This sort of content here isn't actually copyright, because I see it on a lot of sites, one-click installs. So it's very easy to swap stuff out. And I'll come back and I'll probably spin this as well and have a play around with it accordingly to just clear that up there. We'll come back across, free migration, copy. Something else I might like to do as well is I might swap this around the other way. Let me come back again. We'll paste in this one. I love Cadence because it's just so easy to copy and paste into. Get rid of Plumber because I'm not working on that site at the moment. Paste it in there. And I'll probably look around some other sites and see if I can put something else in here other than this. But we've already got like partway down the page and we've already got the first part done and the lower part. Now, when Robert started talking, I switched to this setting here at the top, because what I want to do is make sure the page title is disabled so it doesn't show on the final version, which it is, and it's already on full width and it's unboxed. So I'm quite happy with that. So we can do update anyway, just to make sure I'm saving it as I go along. And I've clicked on the cog now so I can see various settings down here that we can play around with as we go through this. As an example here, let's have a look and see if we can play around with, so I can make it bold, semi-bold, and we can change the text background color. The text itself, I could make it a blue if I wanted. And we can wander our way down now. And it is a lot of rinse and repeat, but if I go, I haven't got enough content from there, or I need more content, I'm going to go and do a search for hosting again. And we're going to find another company somewhere else that I can make copy some content from. I try not to go for the biggest ones because they have more clout with complaining if you've taken some content. The thing to remember, don't take images off someone else's site because it can get you in serious trouble. But when it comes to getting ideas, you can take some of this content. Good example, free SSL certificate. We can offer that on here. So I'm going to come back now, and instead of having fast migration, it's got free migration and fast migration. Well, to be honest, they're very similar things. So let's see if we can adjust the size of this free SSL certificate. and we'll grab this content here, and we'll come back. So I'll replace that out there. So you can see how quickly you can build a site up. You know, we've only just started on here, and as time goes on, I'll change more and more of this content. It's good to log me out. So we'll build this up and up and up, and then when I've built my site and I've finalized all the pages and I'm happy, then I'm going to start working on X fields and start converting them for Magic Page plugin as per the Magic Page plugin we originally did. Let's try and save that again because I think it logged me out. And something else I like to do as I go along, and we keep talking about this all the time, is I'll come into here. I haven't got it installed at the minute, but later on I'm going to install WP Vivid. Let me just see if I can find it a minute. Install plugin. Let me just see if I've got. Reactivate it.
And just to be perfectly clear here, this training is strictly just the basics of Cadence and how you would build WordPress with Cadence blocks. We mentioned MPP builds. We mentioned mass page generation builds. We mentioned a lot of other things, but at the end of the day, this training for any of the replays or anybody watching later is strictly the basics of Cadence. We use Cadence in all of our Magic Page themes and websites because what's been proven to us. It makes better, faster websites as well as ease of use. So that's what we build in, and we just wanted to share the experience of building in Cadence, the basics, because it helps people not only building in Done For You Magic Themes, but anybody that's going to build a WordPress website from scratch. If they know there's different options out there, Elementor versus Cadence, you may want to look at Cadence again before you start spending money on Elementor, because we're doing everything in Cadence here free. We've paid for nothing so far to start on this website build.
And something else to add to that, I was talking to someone the other night about Oxygen Page Builder, and I stated to them very clear that they're getting a bit fed up with it because the company that runs that is bought out a new page builder and they're calling it something else to make people buy the new version.
Yeah.
And I hate it when companies do that they go, here's version 2, now you've got to buy that instead. And the thing is, Oxygen Page Builder doesn't work with Magic Page plugin or most page builders. It doesn't like it for some reason. Divi, I played around with it and couldn't get my head around the way it's all laid out. I liked Elementor, but as we stated before, it messed up a lot of our themes when we first started with DFY Magic Themes, so we moved away. Cadence by far is the most reliable one that we've ever used. And we show these, we've shown these little tips and tricks before. Another example, if I now come back to visit the site. So as you can see here, I haven't tied up the menu yet. That's under appearance and menus. This is an old test I did with MPP, but we've got most of this in here already. And you can see how it won't take me long to work my way through and write this content up accordingly. Now, if I come back to edit page and I go, you know what, I want another section adding somewhere, but I'm not sure. I'm going to say just above here. So we come insert before, and we got the design library up here. And what I love as well is we can have a look through all pro, new, hero tags. So we can come to hero, and if it's free, it will let you install these accordingly. It's got a form, web form, pricing tables, various tabs, accordion, so we can put an accordion in here. And so now instantly it's added an accordion below this content. If I want to move it up, we just click the up arrow, up, and I go, oh, that'll do. And then we do update. And so now I can edit my accordion. And for those that don't know what that is, that's a drop-down menu for like Q&As, information about your website, it's the best place to get that information is from searching Google for question and answers. And so you can quite easily paste it all in here and away you go. Now, something I was going to just state briefly, we did a backup a month ago with WP Vivid. If you are building a mass page website, sometimes WP Vivid will sit there for ages, not doing the backup. And the reason behind it we found is as you build out physical pages in Magic Page plugin, your database gets larger, the site gets larger. The only way I found to get around that is to use all-in-one migration, but you have to have the pro version, because on average, I've noticed these sites with Magic Page plugin, when you do a backup, being anything up to a gig in size. Why? I don't know. And it's something which we're still playing around with. And we think the free version of WP Vivid gets stuck because it can't cope with the sizes. That's the only thing I can put it down to. The other thing you can check is your file upload and download size with your host or in WordPress itself. That there are videos online to show you how to change the file sizes in a file on WordPress. Personally, if you're going to go down that route, get someone who knows about it rather than just try it yourself, because you can mess your site up unless you got it fully backed up. So straight away now with Q&As, I can come over to a new tab and we'll do a search for hosting Q&A. And normally on here, hopefully, let's have a look, see if I can find anything. Q&A. I'm looking for the drop down part of, we can put hosting. Let's try hosting questions. So straight away, there's some there, 10 questions people will ask. So I can click in here and we can have a look at some of the questions, and I can take what's relevant for my site and add it to the accordion as we work on that all the way through the site. So it's just a case of taking action with this. This is why with DFY Magic Themes, we release the ready-made themes for everyone, because it is the case of installing your site using WP Vivid. The whole lot gets pulled in, and then you have to update with the Magic form the data accordingly and add your business data on there. But it's so easy to use. If once again, if I want to add another section in here, we come in here and we can insert before, and we've got all the options in here. We've got tons of options, icon lists, a countdown timer. We can put that in here. We can do various headings, classic blocks, galleries. I love the gallery feature in here, because we can come into the media library and I can select a bunch of images I want inside of a gallery. So I'm going to tick all these and create gallery, insert into gallery, and straight away now I've got these images on here. So there's loads of different options you can do with building your site out if you're going to do this manually. Just always remember to update as you go along. Don't do what I did once. I built an entire, this is the early days of WordPress before it auto updated. I built an entire page, forgot to hit save, got kicked off the internet. When I came back, the whole page had gone. So, it's nothing worse than doing that. So and Sarah says for Q&A and FAQs questions about if you use the drop down in Google search, people also ask sections as well for more ideas. So FAQs are always very good to search for on Google accordingly. So I'm going to do a search for, let's come back to Google.
I think it's a great idea to create a whole separate page on FAQs.
Yeah, and link from your home page to your FAQ section. So you may you may go, okay, I don't want this bit on here. So I'll select the entire area, and I always check as well that by clicking on the 3 lines, it's a row layout. It'll be highlighted fully rather than an inner section. If you're on an inner section, it will highlight that inner section when you're on it, and the same with lower down. So always make sure you're on the right one. And I go, actually, I don't want that. I'm now going to remove the layout completely. And I'm going to go, I don't want these photos of people either. So we're going to make sure we're on the entire section, the gallery. You can also click on the side here and remove it as well. So there's lots and lots you can play around with, like with the timer. I can click in here and we can line up on the next one along, line it in the center, and have a countdown timer on an offer. You have everything you would ever need inside of a builder, to be honest. And that's really how I build my pages out all the time. And then when you're all done, the last part you obviously want to focus on is the SEO. If you're using Magic Page plugin, it's got its own SEO plugin built in that you can just fill in the data. If you're using any others, there's a lot of plugins out there, all-in-one SEO or Rank Math. Some of those will actually auto update the content. I think all-in-one SEO now has an AI SEO thing built in. But really important to know that a lot of these plugins will not work with Magic Page plugin for SEO. So it's better to use the free one or something similar, like there's Exagio out there. There's different ones out there that you can use if you're building a standard site. If you're building an MVP site, Exagio or the free version down here. Let's come back to the main screen. And when I get the time over the next few days, I'm going to keep adding more content in there accordingly. Really important. I know Sarah's just mentioned, separate issue, isn't Google anti-stock photos now? They want actual images where the business would be. Absolutely. And the thing is, think about this with stock images, right? If you're going to use a free stock image photo, tons of people will use that free photo. If you're going to use a paid stock photo service, well, how many people have bought the same photo and put it on their websites? Everyone has one of these, a mobile phone. You can just about see it, a mobile phone. So the thing with a mobile phone is when you're out and about somewhere, you're going to do landscape gardener, take a photo of someone's garden, because there's no privacy in public. So you can, as long as you're in a public area, you can take those photos. If you can do roofing, take a picture of a image up on a roof, right? If you are planning on doing plumbing, go around your house and take a picture of your kitchen tap, or look under your kitchen sink and take a picture of the U-bend or whatever you need to take photos of. A friend of mine likes to go to IKEA, and I've done this myself. I will wander around my phone taking photos of displays in IKEA. And the reason I do that is IKEA regularly change their displays. So it won't be long before a bathroom display they had in there 1 month will be gone a few months later. And the cool thing about those photos is if anyone tries to stop you, say, "Oh, I'm just getting photos. I want to show my missus when I get home, or my partner, or I want to show my grandma ideas for her bathroom." They'll never stop you from taking photos as you're wandering around to get ideas. And once that display is completely changed, then you're laughing. Don says use overlays for your images. And if Don wants to unmute and elaborate on that at all.
Yeah, if you take your stock image, then you put an overlay on their text or your logo or whatever, that changes the image.
Ah, okay.
And then save that, put the overlay on it, and then save it.
Yeah.
Because then it's a new image, and then change your whatever the metadata for your image underneath of it.
That's all true, but there's one level to that you got to think about. as long as the original image wasn't a copyrighted image.
Correct.
If anything was copyrighted, even if you put an overlay on it, if it's been copyrighted, you're going to get in trouble. So be careful of that. But
Yeah.
the overlay does create a new image from the stock image. It is different. It is perceived different, and also change all the file information of the image. It takes a few minutes, but in the long run, it's better for your SEO.
Something else I do that's a bit of a cheat. If I find an image I really like the look of, and I know it's a free image, I'll actually use my mobile phone and point it to my screen to take a photo of the photo, and then I've got the data from my phone, the background data from my phone, location and stuff like that on that image. But AI technology is getting very clever. And Google, at one point, I changed an image quite a bit, and Google still recognized a part of the image for some reason when I put it up. So as long as you're reasonably careful on how you change things, you can normally get away with it. But personally, when I'm out and about with the family, I'll take random photos. At the weekend I was out with the family, and we're close to a beach, and I was taking photos of seagulls and all sorts in case I ever needed them. I might not never need them, but you never know. And I just save them in a library. And phone quality is okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. My friend's got an Apple phone, and that quality is far, far better than an Android. But it's just at the end of the day, just take whatever photos you can and put them up. That's the main thing with it. So thank you for that, Don. Let's remove him from the spotlight. And so we're now at the point where we built the site. We're building the page out. I'm going to finish that page over there, and then I think next week, Robert, we might touch a little bit on the SEO side of things on page once I finish that page out fully. But is there any? You guys are in the room now. Is there any areas that you would like to learn yourselves? If there's ideas you've got, or something you're not sure about with WordPress, and you'd like us to go into that, please let us know. And also those that are watching the replays, please put comments on the videos. It helps us to know if there's any more training we need to continue with, throughout this whole thing with Cadence. And we do emphasize Cadence a lot. We're not affiliates of theirs in any way. I don't even think they have an affiliate program, to be honest, on their pro versions. And to be honest, you do not need the pro version in any way, shape or form. You really don't. Because the advanced features only it gives you extra stuff to add to your site. And in some cases, I found with pro versions of stuff that you sometimes have to leave the pro plugins on the site with your license key in them to be able to sell the site on. So I prefer the free versions, and that's why everything we've done in the background, from WordFence security to building WordPress, that's been the whole idea with this. Just to talk a little bit, and then we'll start winding up. If you ever get an issue with your website and it's not loading, but you can still get to WP admin, disable WordFence. On average, there may be an issue with WordFence blocking something or stopping your site. If you still can't get in, then raise a support ticket if you're on our hosting or with whoever you're with, because the host companies can normally go in and have a second look. But we've had a few tickets this week where on average it's been most of the time down to WordFence. There've been one or two other sites that we've had to resolve hosting issues on. But the main thing is when you get your site set up and built and sorted, then it all goes, we want this all go in the right direction for everyone. I'm going to aim to finish that page during the week, and then we'll touch on talking about how I would do the SEO stuff on the site, and then we'll go from there. So, but any other ideas, please comment on the videos. Anything else you want to add, Robert, tonight?
Well, I was just going to share, we've kind of branched out in some different areas, different ways. MPP training, Cadence training, WordPress training, and all of this is to help you guys get going and get started. But at the end of the day, It's taking action and making the steps to get a site up, get a site built. That's where, Done For You Magic Themes was created to get sites up faster than humanly possible. And yes, you have to tweak them, and yes, you have to change them, but that's what they're there for. They come with the content already on them, and you have to just install and run with it. And following the basics of training, and I'll just say it like this. Friday, we covered a new site build in our Inner Circle group. And we did the basics of loading it up into the Google console. And as of that day, Friday, Saturday, I think I checked back Sunday, there's already been 2 pages indexed on a brand new domain. So following the steps and following the basics is all we have to do to get the results we're going after. And that's, I'm saying that to you, Stephen, that if we just stay at the basics, do the build, do the console, do the citations, do the social media, we're all on track to do the right things. Now, building in Cadence is more of a task for you if you're starting out brand new and don't have anything to work with. But what we showed in week 1 were the starter templates. Grab a template and alter it. Do your keyword research and do your content research on 10 of the top local sites of your niche and build your site out. But have a direction, have a plan in what you're going to do. And that's how you'll succeed. One step every day towards the goal.
Absolutely. I'm just quickly creating an easier link for people to get back to the free training. It's it'll be inside our members area. And I'll just create this quickly. And then, so if you go to DFY Magic Themes /WordPress, update that. That's now live. I'll put it in the chat to everyone. That should take you through to the page to sign up for the WordPress training. But it's also inside of the members area of DFY Magic Themes, where you can rewatch it. And also we're leaving the videos up for the time being inside the Facebook groups. So you can go to the Facebook groups media, and the videos will be inside of any of our main Facebook groups to watch the replays. Just out of interest, but one in the chat, if you guys have been finding the recent training we've been doing useful. It's always useful to know how you guys are finding it. And, if you guys are always happy, we'll do a bit more. I'd like to touch on SEO next week, ideally a little bit. And that way then, I love Don's response. 1.9888888976. Brilliant. So we are looking into plan on talking a bit about SEO and some of the things I do to get Sarah as well. So we are looking to try and aim to do a bit more on SEO and some of the things we do to get your site ready on that side of things over the coming training. So next week I'll aim to have that page completed, and I'll talk next week. I'll talk about linking up as well, how we do the links on the pages that can take you into the right areas. But in the meantime, if there are no other questions, we'll say thank you to all of you. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we hope everything goes well next week. Just take action with whatever you're doing. Focus and take action, because you'll get there. If whether it's building mass page websites to just building a basic WordPress site, just write down one goal this week, one thing you're going to get done. Focus on that, get it done, and everyone will be fine. So, but I think that's everything. I was meant to tonight sort out a video to play out with, but I'm just going to play the opener one because I completely forgot. And have a wonderful evening, everyone, and we'll see you all soon.
Take care, guys.